Welcome back to the channel. My name is Brian Kingsbury. Today we're taking it back to the 80s. You guys remember the 80s? It was a great time, wasn't it? It was a time filled with neon colors. Who remembers hypercolor? It was a time when you could waste an hour in your room all alone, just you and your Rubik's Cube. It was a time when boom boxes were big and it was okay to just be a kid. Music was played on these clunky little plastic things called cassettes. As always, boys would be boys, and girls, well, they just wanted to have some fun. It was a time when a trip to Toys R Us felt like the adventure of a lifetime. Yeah, there was all that, and then there was music, 80s music. 80s music, it came with bigger hair and brighter colors. There was The Cure, there was Sade, there was Guns N' Roses, Public Enemy, Madonna, and of course Prince. Some artists became icons while others came and went. Today we're going to talk about 29 forgotten singers from the 80s you haven't thought about in years. The 1980s produced numerous legendary voices in the realm of music, yet not every artist remained in the limelight. From those who had fleeting success to others who vanished from public view, here are 30 vocalists from the 1980s you may not have considered in a long time. At number 1 is Tiffany, best recognized for her 1987 chart topper, I Think We're Alone Now. Tiffany emerged as a teenage sensation. Although she continued to create music, she was unable to regain her status from the 80s. At number 2 is Taylor Dayne. With commanding vocals and memorable tracks such as Tell It to My Heart, Dayne became a dominant figure in 80s pop. While she continues to perform, she has largely retreated from the mainstream music scene. At number 3 is Jody Watley, a celebrated R&B and dance artist. Awarded a Grammy, Jody Watley gained fame with her song Lookin' for a New Love. Despite her impact, she slowly disappeared from the charts. At number 4 is Billy Ocean, recognized for catchy songs like Caribbean Queen and Get Out of My Dreams, Get Into My Car. Billy Ocean was a prominent figure in the 80s. He still tours, yet he no longer enjoys the same level of recognition. At number 5 is Alana Miles. Her sultry 1989 track Black Velvet catapulted her to fame almost instantly. However, she did not reach the same degree of success with her subsequent releases. At number 6 is Paul Young. With songs like Every Time You Go Away, Paul Young became a beloved British heartthrob. His popularity declined in the 90s, though he performs occasionally. At number 7 is Kim Carnes. Betty Davis' Eyes was among the standout tracks of the 80s. Despite her talent, Kim Carnes receded from the limelight after her peak period. At number 8 is Nick Kamen. His music career was propelled by a Levi's advertisement featuring Each Time You Break My Heart. Tragically, he passed in 2021, leaving his music as a nostalgic remembrance. At number 9 is Eddie Grant. With his reggae-inspired hit Electric Avenue, Eddie topped the charts. Although he continued to release music, he never regained that same level of success. At number 10 is Suzanne Vega. Notable for Luca and Tom's Diner, Suzanne emerged as a folk pop icon. While she still records, her mainstream appeal has diminished over time. Alright, we're 10 artists into this list of 29 forgotten singers from the 1980s. If you're enjoying today's content, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. At number 11 is Howard Jones. The synth pop virtuoso Howard Jones gifted us tracks like No One Is to Blame and Things Can Only Get Better. Despite being cherished by fans, he no longer commands a significant presence on the radio. At number 12 is Sheena Easton, with hits such as Morning Train, 9 to 5, and collaborations with Prince. Sheena was a vibrant star of the 80s. Although she still performs, she has stayed far from her peak popularity. At number 13 is Terrence Trent D'Arby. His debut album introduced us to the song Wishing Well, but he later adopted the name Sonata Maitreya and pursued a different musical direction. His fame did not fully recover thereafter. At number 14 is Laura Branigan. Known for Gloria and Self-Control, Laura Branigan showcased a powerful vocal talent. Unfortunately, she passed away in 2004, and her contributions remain somewhat overlooked. At number 15 is Martika. Her hit Toy Soldiers turned her into a teenage sensation, but her career was brief. She subsequently transitioned to working behind the scenes in the music industry. At number 15 is Lamal. As Kajagoogoo's frontman, Lamal presented us with the song Too Shy. His solo efforts, including the Never-Ending Story, did not sustain his presence in mainstream music for long. At number 16 is Stacey Q. Her dance pop anthem Two of Hearts was a beloved track in 80s clubs. Nevertheless, she never managed to replicate that level of success in her music career afterward. At number 17 is Glenn Medeiros. Most notably recognized for Nothing's Gonna Change My Love for You, Glenn eventually departed from music and took on a role as a school administrator. At number 18 is Pebbles. With chart toppers like Mercedes Boy and Girlfriend, she made a significant impact but later shifted her focus to artist management. She famously collaborated with TLC before a dispute occurred. At number 19 is John Parr. Parr became synonymous with the 80s thanks to St. Elmo's Fire, Man in Motion. Although he released music occasionally, he could never achieve the same acclaim as that particular track. At number 20 is Debbie Gibson, a teenage pop sensation with hits like Foolish Beat and Lost in Your Eyes. Debbie dominated the late 80s music scene. She is still active in performance, though now in a more specialized market. Alright, we're 20 artists into this list of 29, and I wanted to take a second to thank you guys for watching this video. As you can see, here's a look at my last 12 videos to go up to the channel. I try to put out 2 to 3 videos per day, so there's always something fresh for you to watch. Let's get back at it. At number 21 is Niece Williams. Her song, Let's Hear It for the Boy, served as an anthem for Footloose. Nonetheless, she shifted her focus toward gospel music, moving away from mainstream pop. At number 22 is Rick Astley. While Never Gonna Give You Up has enjoyed a resurgence as an internet meme, Rick Astley himself has largely distanced himself from the limelight of pop stardom. At number 23 is Shannon. Her 1983 single, Let the Music Play, played a pivotal role in defining the freestyle genre. Despite her influence, she was unable to sustain her presence on the charts. At number 24 is Robbie Neville. C'est La Vie marked his biggest achievement, but Robbie later transitioned to a career in songwriting and production for other musicians. At number 25 is Jennifer Warnes. With significant duets such as Up Where We Belong alongside Joe Cocker, her solo endeavors never reached similar heights. At number 26 is Baltimora. With only one major success, Tarzan Boy, Baltimora epitomized the one-hit wonder phenomenon. The group's Italian frontman, Jimmy McShane, eventually faded away from the music scene. At number 27 is Climby Fisher. Their song Love Changes Everything was a beloved track in the late 80s. However, they disbanded and Simon Climby transitioned into songwriting and production. At number 28 is Jermaine Stewart. Famous for We Don't Have to Take Our Clothes Off, Jermaine had a short but impactful career. He passed away in 1997. And finally, at number 29 is Patrice Rushen. Her groove-laden hit Forget Me Nots has influenced numerous samples since, yet Patrice Rushen made a transition towards jazz and composing instead of staying in pop. Alright, there you have it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little walk down memory lane, taking it back to the 80s and 29 forgotten singers from the 80s you haven't thought about in years. Sure, maybe some of you got rickrolled and took a look at some of these artists recently, but let me know which one was your favorite. Which one of these artists created a song you just can't help but sing along to? Maybe it was Eddie Grant's Electric Avenue. That's one of my favorites. Or maybe every time Alana Miles' song Black Velvet comes on the radio, you just have to listen to the entire thing. I want to see you guys in that comment section. Get in that comment section, leave me a comment, and let me know which one of these songs is your favorite. Which one can you just not live without? And don't forget to check out some of my other videos. As you can see, we got a lot of great stuff on the screen that you can check out, and 2 that you can click on right now and continue watching. Thank you for watching this one to the very end. I'm Brian Kingsbury. We'll talk to you on the next one. Bye.